Hey everyone, Service Code Studio here. Today we're tackling a little bit more than just a map design, but a whole new game mechanic. So, first things first, we go into our pixel art program and start making kind of the design that we want. This object is going to give the player a temporary boost when it is used, and it's part of the rec category. These objects basically show up randomly in the map and give the run a bit of a mix-up, which I think is a cool concept. This one's just going to give temporary items. So in the design, I included like a display and also how many charges the item has, and I'm separating all of it so I can use it in game. Here I'm going into Unity and I'm just placing all of the sprites into their individual boxes so that I can use them in the Unity editor. Now, the reason I separate the sprites is because you will notice that some of them are white. The white sprites I color in-game. So let's say I'm playing a yellow character or the green character. Depending on the character, I will color those sprites in code, and that's why they're separate. I basically tell Unity, hey, these I'm going to color in-game. The other separate sprite was just a kind of glass layer, which I like adding on top because I can add like the item sprite behind it and then it looks like it's behind glass. So that's why that's separate. Here I'm just doing some basic coding to get everything in place, nothing too crazy just yet. Just stuff like give the player the item, how much time it's going to give the item for, some particle effects to show that the item was given, all that good stuff. And I'm looking right now for a material that might fit that I might have already made. I ended up not finding a good material for the bar that shows how many uses the item still has, so I end up adding just more sprites to it, and you'll see me doing that in a second. Right now I'm just kind of getting everything in place for playtesting it, because I haven't even playtested it yet. It's been like half an hour, I think. Here I'm doing some more code, and I realize that I still needed more sprites that I haven't made yet. So here we are, I'm looking at the bar that shows you how many uses it has, and I just add 3 different types, and I'm going to tell the game to cycle between them depending on how many uses the rec still has. Here I'm adjusting the hitbox, and after that I'm pretty set in actually testing this thing out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a test map, nothing crazy, just spawning a ton of recs and just play test the game. Immediately I noticed that it's not working because a bunch of stuff isn't happening. I'm not getting a temporary item. The particle effects that I set up aren't actually colored correctly. Actually, nothing is working, which is always a fantastic sign for a playtest. After the second playtest, I managed to get some things working, but it's still far from off. It's not even giving me items and not working at all like I want. For example, that one showed that it had 3 uses, but it stopped being used after 1. I'm kind of confused about this for a while, but after looking at the code for a very long time in comparison to what it should have taken, I realized that the code that I wrote that I make the item work with just wasn't plugged into the item. And as you can see, once I actually, tell it to run the code that I wrote for it to work, it works like a charm. Currently now I'm testing this big pause. I'm testing to see how long temporary items last, and I'm like, they're lasting way too long. Divide that by 7, so now they kind of last normal amount of time. I think the average time that an item lasts is a little over 10 seconds now per use, which is pretty good. And after some more basic testing, it's done, and that is the item. It took me a little over an hour to make this mechanic, and I'm pretty happy with it. If you want to see the time lapse without me talking over it, there is a version of that on YouTube. Anyway, see you next time.